Morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me up by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a vision. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth. Man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Mexico City Diablos. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First and 10, here's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Going deep here for Bryant. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw on second down is Newton. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now Newton. incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And out come the Dolphins now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
So how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Mahomes going to throw, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for him, too.
A handoff to Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They go play action here on 1st down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And that'll be incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Back to the air, Newton on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. If that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
As diverse as the running game has become in the NFL, there's still a place for the fullback position. And on that play, he gained nice yardage.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Mahomes. Buying time to his left. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. A beautiful fake. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
Sliding out of the pocket. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown! A big play there. 46 yards. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Gano out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it?
There he goes, right side. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here for 6 points. Santos now to add the PAT. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Newton on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Dante Jackson picks it, and he will have a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. A gain of 39 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing now is Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this 1st quarter. And the first play will be a field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will push the lead up to 5. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Here's Newton. That's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. On 1st down, it's Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. On second down, here's Newton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Taylor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch. Newton now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. From the gun, here's Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Check the set. 180.
2nd and 10, Newton again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Flush to his right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Mahomes now to throw. Lets it go for Nelson. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The Dolphins on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Bryant with a catch right side. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Saquon Barkley. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and Mahomes hit. He lost the football, and the defense has come up with it.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Come on, come on. Great.
To the air again, Newton. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he's got this down to the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Newton. And this one's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Ready.
Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Gun.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Set. 180.
Out of the gun, Newton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Newton. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Newton now on second down. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package.
Yeah.
6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. There he goes inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the red zone now, Newton. And he will take it in for the touchdown. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second and 10 now from the 27. Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is fielded at the 7. Ooh, the juke. He did it again. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Newton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Let's go.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Gun.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
That's right now.
From the gun, Newton eluding the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
They've converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Mahomes now on first down. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. He dumps it off to Barkley. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back now in Mexico City. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Mahomes now on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Newton. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The pitch goes to Barkley. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week as he's got a 1st down as well.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1 possession.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, that's set. 180. What are you?
This is McCaffrey on the give. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Steps away to his left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Luke Kuechly leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 40, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Set 180.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. 20! And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
180.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. So out comes the field goal team once more. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here come the Dolphins. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Third and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And they still need 6 yards here on 3rd down after the penalty. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. He juked him, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the home team here, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for Miami, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.